YouTube, it's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, undefeated 3-division world champion, former junior welterweight undisputed world champion, currently the WBO welterweight world champion, who is widely considered by many to be the #1 best pound-for-pound fighter in the world, Terence "Bud" Crawford. Now, 38 wins, no losses, no draws, 29 wins by way of knockout. Terence Crawford, 34 years of age, stands at 5'8" with a 74-inch arm reach, okay? Terence Crawford is coming off of a spectacular performance in what was being considered to be the biggest fight of his career against two-time welterweight world champion, superstar boxer, Showtime Shawn Porter. Shawn Porter is now 31 wins, 4 losses, 2 draws, 17 wins by way of knockout, 34 years of age, stands at 5'7" with a 69-inch arm reach. With that said, they fought in a nip-tuck fight as we expected because Shawn Porter never gets blown out in any fight. Shawn Porter lost all his losses with very close, razor-thin losses. And once again, it was a nip-and-tuck fight until Terence Crawford made the adjustment as I stated he would. Now, I thought that Terence Crawford would win a split decision. I stated that Terence Crawford would get buzzed a few times, as he did get buzzed a few times by Shawn Porter because of Shawn Porter's aggression, Shawn Porter's skill level, and the fact that Shawn Porter knows his back was against the wall, right? Shawn Porter, he stated that his legacy, his future, everything was on the line, okay? And so I knew Shawn Porter, you was going to get the best version of Shawn Porter. I don't know if we got the best version of Shawn Porter, but we got a very close to being the best version. I didn't see much of a difference in this version of Shawn Porter than I saw against Shawn Porter and Errol Spence. And I thought that was the best version of Shawn Porter we've ever saw. And he duplicated that performance last night against Terence "Bud" Crawford. But Terence Crawford, as I stated, has more tools in the toolbox. Okay, Terence Crawford is more versatile. He's able to switch from southpaw to orthodox fluidly. Terence Crawford has extremely long arms. Okay, Terence Crawford is ambidextrous, so he has power in both hands. I knew the game plan for Shawn Porter was to push Terence Crawford in a position where Terence Crawford wasn't comfortable, but that's very hard to do. Seeing as though Terence Crawford, like I said, is ambidextrous, he has power in both hands. Terence Crawford has the ability to switch from southpaw to orthodox, so it's not too many positions that you could put Terence Crawford in to make him uncomfortable, okay? And so he made the adjustments, as I stated, and I felt like he was going to make the adjustments, as he did. And he ended up knocking Shawn Porter out, okay, or getting a stoppage. Shawn Porter's father, trainer, manager, Kenny Porter, he threw in the towel. However you so choose to look at it. He dropped Shawn Porter twice in the 10th round, and ultimately Kenny Porter threw in the towel, said he had enough, he saw enough, okay? So with that said, obviously the biggest fight in the sport of boxing that everybody wants to see is Terence Crawford versus undefeated unified welterweight WBC IBF world champion superstar boxer, who is widely considered by many to be top 3 best pound-for-pound fighters in the world, and Earl the True Spence Jr., 27 wins, no losses, no draws, 21 wins by way of knockout. Errol Spence is 31 years of age, stands at 5'9.5" with a 72-inch arm reach. With that said, Errol Spence was ringside. Okay, that's the biggest fight in the sport of boxing. That's the fight the world is clamoring for, at least the boxing world is clamoring for, to see who is the best fighter in the glamour division, and that being the welterweight division. Everybody wants to see who is the top dog in the glamour division, in that welterweight division, okay? And so with that said, there was sticking points, right? The sticking point was that, Top Rank, legendary promoter, Top Rank CEO and promoter Bob Arum, he just couldn't secure the fight, okay? And Terence Crawford, he let it be known. Now everybody questioned, why is Terence Crawford staying with Bob Arum, okay? Why is Terence Crawford allowing the business of boxing to dictate his career? This is the biggest fight in his career, and Terence Crawford is 34 years of age. Because at this gesture, Terence Crawford stage in his career, Terence Crawford should have had multi-mega fights in his career. Now, Terence Crawford, obviously, he fought and he beat Julius Sendango for undisputed. He's a 3-division world champion, so on and so forth. So Terence Crawford definitely, has accomplished a lot within the sport of boxing, okay? But the business side of the sport of boxing has prevented Terence Crawford from getting those mega massive showdowns, lucrative fights that he himself has admitted that has eluded him. So, shockingly, Terence Crawford, when he's on the stage with Bob Arum post-fight, after the Sean Porter victory, Terence Crawford, to Bob Arum's face, when asked about what's the future, how can they secure a fight with Errol Spence? So Terence Crawford lets it be known, well, Bob Arum wasn't in the business of securing the fight for Errol Spence when I was with Bob Arum, and he can't secure the fight. He said, how is Bob Arum going to secure the fight when I'm not with Bob Arum? So he says that I'm moving on with my career, okay, and I'm headed to new chapters, and I wish everybody well, okay? So he let it be known, clear as day. So he lets Bob Arum know right then and there, how could you possibly secure a fight with me and Errol Spence when you wasn't in the business of securing a fight with Errol Spence when I was with you? How you going to secure a fight with Errol Spence when I'm not with you? So wish you all the well, okay? Now, we know the history of Bob Arum, and he tells this to Bob Arum's face right there. It's just him and Bob Arum on the podium. And he lets it be known right then and there. And a lot of people applauded that because for years, everybody's wondered why Terence Crawford has continued to show loyalty to Bob Arum and Top Rank when Bob Arum was saying stuff like, you could build a mansion in Beverly Hills from scratch with so much money you lost on Terence Crawford fights. Okay? Bob Arum never felt like Terence Crawford was a major draw. Bob Arum, he also stated that he had this last opportunity when Terence Crawford was negotiating with legendary 8th Division World Champion, iconic Filipino superstar boxer, Manny Pac-Man Pacquiao. Terence Crawford had been looking to secure a fight with Manny Pacquiao for quite some time, okay, for the better part of 5 years. Since 2014, Bob Arum and Terence Crawford was making mention of a fight with Terence Crawford and Manny Pacquiao. Terence Crawford was signed to Top Rank and Bob Arum, and so was Manny Pacquiao, and they could never secure the fight. And Bob Arum is on record numerous of times letting it be known that he prevented the fight from happening. He stated, I prevented the fight with Terence Crawford and Manny Pacquiao from happening for more than one reason. For one reason, his relationship with Manny Pacquiao, he didn't want to see Manny Pacquiao get hurt because he understands how this fight is going to end with Manny Pacquiao and Terence Crawford. And two, he wasn't willing to put up the money for Manny Pacquiao and Terence Crawford fight, okay? Then, most recently, when asked about Terence Crawford was supposed to secure a fight with Manny Pacquiao for June, okay? June 5th of this year, we were supposed to get Terence Crawford and Manny Pacquiao, and Bob Arum stated it was an investment group in Abu Dhabi that was willing to put up the money for Terence Crawford and Manny Pacquiao in Abu Dhabi, but he stated that the investment group, they fell out, okay? And once the investment group fell out of, participating in, putting up the funds for this fight, Bob Arum stated that that was it for the fight, okay? And he stated that they could have put up the money, that being Top Rank at ESPN, they could have put up the money for this fight, but they didn't see that they would get a return on their investment. They didn't feel like it was worth investing in such a fight. So they didn't see the profit in putting up the money for Terence Crawford to face off against Manny Pacquiao. A legendary fight, an iconic fight. So Manny Pacquiao, he ended up walking away from the negotiation with Terence Crawford and Bob Arum, and he ended up signing to fight his biggest rival in Errol Spence Jr., okay? And the only reason Errol Spence Jr. didn't fight Manny Pacquiao is because 2 weeks before the fight, in the routine pre-fight checkup, it was found that Errol Spence had a broken detached retina. So when that was found, Errol Spence had to be removed from the fight, and Yordenis Ugas, he replaced Errol Spence. So with that said, that's unfortunate because that's a fight. Yordenis Ugas beats Manny Pacquiao unanimous decision. Okay, that's unfortunate because Errol Spence, and then Manny Pacquiao retires. So Terence Crawford have been trying to secure a fight with Manny Pacquiao all this time and was unable to secure a fight simply because Bob Arum stood in the way of securing the fight. And then, not to mention, Errol Spence and Terence Crawford fight, and Bob Arum was saying, who's going to put up the money for that fight? Okay, nobody's there to put up the money for the fight. So it was abundantly clear Bob Arum just simply had no interest in putting up in big money in Terence Crawford because he didn't see the value in it. And ultimately, Terence Crawford finally saw that Bob Arum saw no value in him, and Terence Crawford now sees no value in Bob Arum. So Terence Crawford lets Bob Arum know to his face, bluntly, I'm done with you. So it's being reported that Terence Crawford could possibly be signing with MTK Global and doing a fight-by-fight basis, and he's looking to secure the biggest fights possible. Bob Arum was still, at the end of this fight, when asked about Errol Spence, he still let it be known that he don't know how that's going to get done. And he says the fight that he's looking to make is Terence Crawford versus undisputed junior welterweight, undefeated British superstar boxer Josh Taylor in the UK. Terence Crawford is not with it. So Terence Crawford, Bob Arum is still not looking to secure a fight with Terence Crawford and Errol Spence and the biggest fights for him. He's looking to benefit, himself and Top Rank, where they feel like he stated in the UK, he feel like he could benefit from having that fight in the UK. So let's see how everything unfolds. But obviously the fans want to see Terence Crawford sign with the PBC, Premier Boxing Champions, founder and advisor Al Heyman. But it looks like Terence Crawford is going to do fight-by-fight basis and sign with MTK Global. So that's all I got for y'all. Make sure you hit the like button. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue, Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. You haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shouts out to the entire LDBC. Shouts out to New Media. Shouts out to Black Media Row. Make sure you like and share these videos. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.
You're watching Blue Blood Sports TV. Wow.